Welcome back, everyone. My name is Patrick. You're watching the Oilers Rundown, broadcast on the Oilers Fanatic and the Heavy Hockey Network. It's game day once again. The Edmonton Oilers and the Chicago Blackhawks set to face off at 5 o'clock tonight. Connor McDavid versus Connor Bedard. Should be an excellent matchup. The Edmonton Oilers looking to bounce back after a 5-3 loss to the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Pens game was really a tale of two stories. The Edmonton Oilers started the game absolutely horrible. We're down 4-1 after one. Fought their way back somewhat, made it respectable in a 5-3 loss, but like I said, they will clearly be looking for a strong bounce back tonight against the Chicago Blackhawks to get back in the win column. It was their first loss in 2 years in the month of January, so also very disappointing in that regard. It doesn't look like the Edmonton Oilers are going to be doing a morning or early afternoon skate in Chicago, so this was the latest information that we had from yesterday in regards to the Oilers lineup for tonight. Jeff Skinner was skating with Nuge and Hyman on the top line, but Connor McDavid was gone in Erie for his jersey retirement, so we shouldn't read into Jeff Skinner being there. Early reports had Jeff Skinner suspected to be a healthy scratch for the Edmonton Oilers tonight, so we'll see if that officially comes to pass, but obviously on that top line, we'll probably be looking at Nuge moving over to the left side. Connor there in the middle with Hyman. Hyman had been playing on that third line, but I'm expecting a few changes following that Pittsburgh game, so it would make sense to see Nuge, Connor, and Hyman together. Podkolzin, Draisaitl, and Arvidsson have been a staple. Janmark, Henrique, and Connor Brown is a combination from the Stanley Cup playoffs last year, so we could definitely see that. And the fourth line listed here by Bob Stauffer, Perry, Derek Ryan, and Kasperi Kapanen, so that leads to the suspicion that Jeff Skinner will be a healthy scratch tonight, but that is not 100% official. Let's wait and see what is announced before game time tonight. On the blue line, Ekholm and Bouchard. Darnell Nurse was skating with both Troy Stecher and Josh Brown. I imagine after a couple games out, Troy Stecher draws back in tonight, and Kulak and Eberson has been another staple for the Edmonton Oilers, and I'm expecting Calvin Pickard to get the start tonight against Chicago. Obviously, the talk of the last few days in Edmonton has been Evander Kane and his impact on the upcoming salary cap for the Edmonton Oilers. Puckpedia had this report yesterday. If Evander Kane is out for the rest of the regular season, the Oilers can exceed the cap by $5.1 million. Because they already set their LTIR pool at the start of the year with Kane on LTIR, they won't be able to effectively add accrued cap space plus use their LTIR pool. It's one or the other. Their roster right now has an annual cap hit of $88.05 million. If they use LTIR, they can go up to $93.1 million, meaning they can add $5.05 million annual cap hit compared to their roster right now. At the deadline, without LTIR, they can add $1 million of annual cap hit and still be under the cap. But if they do that, the annual cap hit is $89 million, leaving only $93.1 million minus $89, giving them $4.1 million available to add if they use LTIR. So, the most they can add, even with Kane on LTIR, is $5.1 million total more annual cap hit than the current roster. Had they waited to add Evander Kane to LTIR, they could have used accrued cap space to add cap hit, and then added Kane to LTIR, and then had another $5.1 million available to add. Now, if you're confused by all that, welcome to the club. It gets really confusing for me as well, but basically what Puckpedia is saying here, the Edmonton Oilers can't use their accrued cap space plus Evander Kane's LTIR cap hit. It's one or the other, so the Oilers basically hoping at this point that Evander Kane is out for the regular season so they can use his LTIR space, because that would be the most cap space for the Oilers available to use at the trade deadline. Obviously, they can make other moves, sending Josh Brown down, sending other players down, making trades. And that's unfortunately where Jeff Skinner may come in with his $3 million cap hit. As we suspect, he may be a healthy scratch tonight. He's played down the lineup. He's played excellent as of late. I'm hoping Jeff Skinner can find a way to stay an Edmonton Oiler, but the Oilers may be forced into that kind of situation where they try and free up as much of his cap hit as possible, because it's not to say that you could just trade Jeff Skinner and automatically have $3 million unless you're doing it for a draft pick, but not many teams can just take on a full $3 million. You're probably taking something back. So I don't know. There's a lot of factors that'll come into it, guys. Let's see what happens here. We should have more clarity on Evander Kane in about a month's time, and we can better speculate at that point what is going to happen. Ryan Lotsberg over at Heavy Hockey put up an excellent article that I encourage you guys to check out. I'm linking to it in the description below. Ryan goes more in depth on the whole situation, some different things the Edmonton Oilers can do, so I encourage you guys to check out that article. Like I said, it is linked below. The Oilers do have some more factors to consider going forward here as well. Alec Regula is reportedly skating for the Edmonton Oilers, but he's skating on his own. So who knows when he's coming back. Maybe that's after the trade deadline, so it's not a consideration. But lots of things to consider here for the Edmonton Oilers here in the days and weeks ahead. So let's see what happens here with Evander Kane. Like I said, we should have more clarity on him in about a month's time, so we can better speculate on the future for the Edmonton Oilers at that time. So I think that's all I have for now, guys. But like I said, Connor McDavid versus Connor Bedard tonight at 5 p.m. Connor McDavid getting his jersey retired last night in Erie. Looked like a great celebration there, a great recognition of his time with the Erie Otters. So congratulations to Connor McDavid, and hopefully he can come back to Chicago and help the Edmonton Oilers to get back in the win column tonight. So let me know your thoughts on everything in the comment section below. If this is your first visit to the channel and you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing for all the latest Oilers content. You've been watching the Oilers Fanatic. Thanks for being a fan.